It's time now for the Sports Zone.
The Thundering Herd were forced to postpone their series against Charlotte last week due to contact tracing and injuries. 7-2 Marshall now turns its attention to its most hated rival, Western Kentucky. The Herd and Hilltoppers renew the Moonshine Throwdown on the hardwood in a 2-game set. The Green and White are off to Bowling Green on Friday to take on WKU in Game 1 of the series. Game 2 returns to Huntington. The Herd have dropped the last 3 meetings and trail 8 games to 9 in the all-time series. Friday's matchup is set for 5 p.m. and can be seen on the CBS Sports Network. Both Tavion Kinsey and head coach Dan D'Antoni say there's always something that stands out about this big CUSA rivalry game.
I look forward to this game every year. I know it's going to be kind of rough for us because our guys are just getting off quarantine. We should have everything back. It should be a great matchup.
They both love basketball. You know, Bowling Green in that part of the country is bred in basketball. They always have been. They have a history of great teams. We like to think we love our history.
Staying on the court, WVU men's hoops has had its next 2 games postponed due to COVID-19 concerns.
The Gold and Blue Nation Mountaineer Minute is brought to you by your local 5-star Chevy dealers.
The news comes just 1 day after the Mountaineers announced they would need to postpone their top 15 matchup against Baylor, which was originally scheduled for tonight. The Gold and Blue were set to host TCU on Saturday in Oklahoma State next Tuesday. The Big 12 says it plans to reschedule those games later on this season. When the Masters rolls around in early April, it'll look very similar to how it did back in November. The tournament in Augusta says it will once again limit fan attendance due to the pandemic. Last year's champ, Dustin Johnson, was 20 under par, which set a new Masters record. He also had the fewest bogeys of anyone in tournament history. A reminder, the 85th edition of the Masters starts on April 5th and runs through April 11th. And you can see how it all unfolds right here, only on WOWK CBS 13. And it was quite the Gatorade bath for Fairmont's own Nick Saban last night. The former West Virginia defensive backs coach celebrated his 7th national championship as the Crimson Tide rolled over Ohio State by 28 points. The showdown between number 1 Alabama and number 3 Ohio State started off strong and was just a 4-point game in the second quarter. Alabama added a pair of touchdowns late in the first half and led 35-17 and did not look back. The Tide overpowered the Buckeyes in every way and gave Coach Saban his 6th championship at Alabama and 7th overall. After the loss, Ohio State head coach Ryan Day says it was hard to watch his team come up short, knowing a national championship was on the line.
And on offense, you know, we couldn't go score for score with them, and you know, and then the game gets out of hand. But you know, our guys competed; they play all the way to the end, and you know, I wouldn't have any other group with me.
Big congratulations again to Coach Saban. The Crimson Tide are the first team since 1936 to win 6 championships in a 12-season span. One final college football note: former West Virginia head coach Rich Rodriguez is now the new offensive coordinator at UL Monroe. That'll do it for sports here on 13 News at 11. Let's go back to Merrily at the desk.
And I'll send things over to Spencer.